It's easy enough to just walk away, then coming to terms with what to say. This feeling inside I just can't bear, wavering here, wavering there.
Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King, here with my Grangardy deck. Yeah, not much else to say about, well, yeah, there's plenty to say about this. Not much else to say what the deck actually does. It makes Grangardy go off. And I'll use the Mega Blast unit that gets extra 10Ks and drive checks. And there's recently a card release that gives you extra free Mega Blasts for binding to him and a friend. So, good stuff. The starter is Cosmic Hero Grand Top. Burst. Tap this unit if the Vanguard's power is 25k or greater. Choose a unit. By the way, you tap it before it's 25k. You tap it and then see if it's 25k. Gets plus. You choose a unit, it gets plus 4k. So you can give something like this guy plus 4k. See what I did there. This guy was stupid good. I'm actually like, Anyway. Plus 4k until end of turn. If your Vanguard is 35k or greater, I can put this in the soul, and it gets to draw a card, and I can unflip a damage. I use him because he goes in the soul, and he unflips damage. It's pretty great. Then we have Cosmic Hero Grand's Cold. Put this unit into the soul. It's a stand trigger. Choose one of your Vanguards. It gets plus 4k. If your Vanguard is 30,000 power or greater, choose a unit, get a plus 4k. So you give 4k to the Vanguard, and if it's like a 26k, it automatically goes to 30k then. And then you give it the plus 4k, you check if it's 30, then you give it another plus 4k to say him, so he gives a plus 4k back. Really great card in general. I don't really like stands, but I do need to soul charge a lot in this deck. And the soul charging that other cards do is not very consistent. It's non-existent. 4 crits. Demon Monster Gorgon is a favorite crit of mine, so that's why I like running him. Metalborg Grasscutter. Put this unit into the soul. Choose one of your other grade 3 or grade 2 Metalborgs and get plus 3k. However, you don't need Metalborgs to put them into the soul. That's why I run them. You just lose the 3ks. Especially if I need like one more soul, that's why I use them. However, I don't really care to use them. Metalborg Black Nurse. Best art. Yeah. Grand Rope. He's just an extra stride card because I do find that I need him on occasion. And then I run 4 Snow Elemental Hyako. Choose 2 Snow Elemental Hyakos on rearguard circle. Bind them face up. G-Break 1. Choose one of your Vanguard abilities with Counterblast 4 or more and Soul Blast 6 or more. So run Hilder, Time, something, Dragon. It's a grade 3. I don't remember. I don't really care to use it. And Grangardy. And the cost becomes 0 the next time it's paid. This doesn't have a once per turn. It has an act. Brunhilde doesn't have a once per turn. She has an act. So, he's just a really great card that does go off a bit. However, the problem with this deck is that he isn't really very consistent. He's more consistent. He's less consistent than everyone thinks he is. However, he's still a great card, and this deck did get off 6 drive checks every now and then. However, it's good in testing bad natural gameplay. However, it's still a lot of fun because I have 4 Laurels. Laurel is choose 4 Dimensional Police Rearguards. By the way, 4 of these Snow Elementals. 4 Dimensional Police Vanguard hits. Tap 4 Dimensional Police Rearguards. And you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a Vanguard and stand it. This is all the way back in set 4. It's probably the most valuable card in there, including most of the SPs. And it just does a lot of work. He is probably the most working card in all of Vanguard because of the amount of effort he's put in. He is a universal addition to all Vanguard decks except for certain builds of Grand Gallop. And even then, you can make a very strong argument to add it in as attack 1 or 2 to Grand Gallop, just to mess with people. Really great card. Cosmic Hero Grand Leaf, once per turn, G-Break 1, Soul Blast 1. If your Vanguard's power is 30k or greater, which is super easy to do, pay the cost and then return this unit into the hand at the end of turn. If you have 35k or greater power to your Vanguard, this gets plus 10k. So it can be a 10k booster to your Vanguard, which is pretty great. Especially if your Vanguard hits 35k or greater, which it does often. I don't really like him in a Grand Gallop deck because I like the G-Guards. However, in a Metalborg deck and a Grangardy deck, he's just fantastic. Especially when I'm fighting somebody who is a slog to fight against, and I just can't seem to get Grangardy to work. So I might as well use a soul for something else. Then we have Grand Sub, Cosmic Hero, G-Break 1, once per turn. When this unit's power is increased due to the effect of one of your cards, if it's 13k or greater, choose a Vanguard until end of turn it gets plus 4k, and when it hits, your opponent chooses a rearguard to die. It does not activate due to boosting or guarding. So basically, what he does is he gives your Vanguard plus 4k once he gets plus 4k through, say, him. So in other words, putting 4k on him isn't a waste to your Vanguard. And things like Grangardy, which give out plus 4k to the front row at a certain power, means that he's also getting plus 4k for as many copies as there are of these, as well as the on-hit abilities. Dimensional Robo Dijet. Choose a grade 3 card with Dimensional Robo and put it in the drop zone. Drop zone. And put it in the top of the deck. Shuffle deck. Choose a Vanguard plus 4k, and on hit, you can counterblast 1 to draw a card. He's a really great card. I didn't appreciate him until I added him into this deck, and now I'm going to add him into my Metalborg deck because my Metalborg run Die Kaisers. Die Bazooka. When this unit attacks, if it has a Kaiser, if your Vanguard has Kaiser in the card name, it gets plus 2k. Trigger Zone. If you have a Vanguard with Kaiser, it gets grade plus 1, so it's a grade 3. And whether you're damaging it or drive checking it. Oh no, when you damage... Oh, hold on. Fascinating. So I've been using this card wrong. I just read the specific wording of it. Trigger Zone. So in other words, when you take a damage, it passes through the Trigger Zone. If you have a Vanguard with Kaiser, it gets a grade plus 3. However, the Soul Charge and the... by the way, this is errated. It's Soul Charge, not Soul Blast. This is Counter Charge. And the Counter Charge don't activate on damage. Oh, that's fascinating. Because previously, I thought it was Trigger Zone, and then this ability activates, but it's only on drive check. But anyway, basically, it's a... So when you drive check it, it counts as a grade 3. So if you're running Die Kaiser Leon, it breaks through any guard. And then you Soul Charge and you unflip a damage, which can be good or bad. I mean, it depends on what it is. Yeah, pretty good. And plus, it's not bound by G-Break, so you do it as soon as you start having Kaisers. And there are decks where I just sort of break ride him on himself, especially when someone's funny and they're like, "Oh, you don't run Sea Breezes. Let's keep you at grade 2." I'm like, "Okay, friend." Boop. Break ride. Plus 10k and a critical. This card was good before Stride meta, kiddies. Anyway, Die Kaiser. Most of my decks actually don't require strides. So, you know, I'm pretty good about that. When a Counterblast 1, when the Dimensional Police rides, you may pay the cost of you, choose a Vanguard plus 10k and a crit. And when this drive check reveals a grade 3 Dimensional Police unit, you may choose one of your opponent's Guardians, retire it, and this unit effects cannot be hit as nullified. So basically it turns off a Perfect Shield, it takes away, you know, a 10k guard, it kills G-Guards, it kills everything to pierce through for great justice. I used him in Metalborgs to great success, as well as other situations that are just fantastic. There's really no flaws to this card, and he should be run when it's boosted plus 3k. Oh, and by the way, let's say that you were early game and you're swinging for 18k with this guy. If you have a Laurel on the field and their Vanguard has an 8k Vanguard, which does happen, you know, he's pretty funny. Because then it's like 18k, well, you need to put down like 2 10ks for a 2-pass. Good luck. And of course, then you get it, because you always go for it. Always go for the trigger checks. Just really good. Really good card. It's been like the side ace of my deck, on my Dimensional Police decks, since it came out. Just really great. Then we run Cosmic Hero Grangardy. G-Break 1, when this unit's power is 20k or greater. When this unit drive checks at grade 3, countercharge 1, soul charge 1. If the unit's power is 30k or greater by using this ability, but that's how you get it, by using this ability. You get all your rear guards in the front row get plus 4k. And if it's like these guys, they get plus 4k, and then they give plus 4k right back, as well as other abilities. So really, he's just a really good card for this sort of thing. This deck has synergy, but the secondary ability never really worked out as well as I should like. Counterblast 4, Soul Blast 6, when this unit gets plus 10k and 2 drive checks until end of turn. So the combo is pretty obvious. You Break Ride for a Counterblast to get the 30k, then you spend buying 2 of these guys for another drive check and 10k, so you're at 30k. He gets another 8k, so he's at 39k. Then you give him another plus 4, say, so he's 43k into soul. Let's say that I'm at 6 soul, Counterblast 4, Soul Blast 6, get another 10k, so he's 53 crit to guard break from Die Kaiser, drive checks, counter charge, and soul charge, grade 3 drive checks. Grade 3 drive checks also pierce through guard. There's no real flaws to this guy, except for the expense of his ability and the desire to use it multiple times with Hayako, which just didn't work like I wanted it to, as often as I wanted to. However, that isn't really a problem. The deck still did pretty well. I won 3 out of the 5 matches that I did, and the fights against those other matches were actually pretty close. And more to do with my deck not working than failure of it. But then again, this deck was kind of an experimentation. I'm really glad that I played it, but it's time to break this back down to Metalworks and take what I've learned, like Diejet, and, sort of make it work again. But we'll see. Let's talk about strides. First off, I run 1 Enigma Crossway. Choose 1 rearguard, tap it at the beginning of your attack step. If your unit's power is 30k or greater, pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 10k. So basically, you can use him, put it in there, and then swing for like 45k. If your opponent doesn't have a perfect shield, they'll just let it hit. Not really much else for him. You can't really describe too much about him. He's just in there to beef a guy, go into a fight, that sort of thing. One Cosmic Hero X Rogue. What he does is when this attack hits a Vanguard, if the unit's power is 37k or greater, draw a card. The opponent chooses a rearguard and retire it. And actually, that can get to be very powerful, and multiple retires based on how you use your abilities. And by the way, getting 2 triggers to put on him means his abilities go off. It's pretty great. He's just good. I use him for a first stride if I have nothing else and I don't really want to run cross-stride. Then we have X Tiger. Choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 4k for every face-up card in the G-Zone, which for me can get real beefy real fast. If the unit's power is 45k or greater, it gets a crit. Yeah, he's just a really, really good card. He gets a crit. He can hit for super high numbers that basically is perfect shield or nothing. And, just end the game for you. Especially with this deck, I do run a lot of cards that flip over other cards for their cost. So by the end of it, I'm flipping over my last remaining G-Guard and swinging for 26, 32, like 58k before boost. Really great card. Crit 2. 2 SPs. I'm happy. G-Break 2, Counterblast 1. Choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if the power is 35k or greater, you get an extra drive check. If the unit is 40k or greater, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, by the way, all rearguards in the front row get plus 4k for every face-up card named Excalibur. So basically, they get back the plus 4k. So they can really mess with an opponent's guard to make it perfect shield or nothing. But also, you can do it, you can do this pretty much. And there's no limit to how many times you can do this. There's no limitations. There's no once per turn. So basically, you swing. Let's say you do and you pay the cost and you flip over this. Give plus 4k. Actually, let's just say you're like this. You've got 2 already out there. So you restand it with Laurel because they stupidly let it hit. You already gave plus 8k to your front row. you know, and you swing again, you counterblast again, you get another 4 drive checks, you get another one of him out, so you get plus 20k in all to your front row. It gets pretty crazy like that. You do have to be careful, as he does use up counterblast pretty crazy. He's a kind of a counterblast hog, but he's still just a really great card to work with. It's just a pity he doesn't do anything else than get Quadra Drive and get the front row power based on his cards. But the Grand Gallop deck is more to do with rearguard power and feeding into the Vanguard than the other way around. Then we run Daikaiser Leon, Counterblast 1, flip over a copy of Daikaiser Leon. This is my bread and butter stride, and it does win me more games than you think. If you have a Vanguard Heart with Kaiser, until end of turn it gets when this drive check reveals a grade 3 or a Die Bazooka, because this counts as a grade 3. Choose up to one of your opponent's guardians, retire it, and the effect cannot be hit is nullified. So it kills perfect shields. It goes through everything but Dismal. In fact, one of the only strategy really to counter this, using Dismal, is to use Dismal on this guy, so you hit 26k, and then just start piling on the 10ks until I can't hit. And then it's like, good luck. Nothing really else to say about him. That's just how he works, and he works great. This deck is based around him. Like, the part of the problem with this deck was that this deck was a Daikaiser deck with Grangardy on occasion. Whereas before with Metalborgs, it was Daikaiser until I finished the game with Metalborgs. And I just couldn't finish the game with Grangardy. So for this deck, I do run one Dismal, and this is simply to protect Laurel. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose a rearguard until end of turn. It cannot be hit and cannot be chosen by the effects of the opponent's cards. So basically, bam, you can't kill Laurel, and then that's it. Nothing else matters with this guy. He's just a 15k shield with resist. Then I run 2, and again, I only use it if Laurel's in danger. Because I ran into problems with a Maelstrom deck where I had to kill my Laurel just because of how smart the guy played it. And, you know, he killed it. Good job. But if I had a Dismal running around, I could have saved him. And I could have probably won that game if my Laurel was still running around instead of gone. But who knows? Enigma Patriot, when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if the opponent's attacking unit's power is 20k or greater, which it will be all the time, this unit gets plus 5k. So it's a 31k Vanguard guaranteed. Like, your opponent has to hit 31k before you start worrying. And if he hits 31k, just run in Caraveau. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, when the opponent's attacking power is 30k or greater, this unit gets plus 10k. So in other words, as long as they don't hit 36k, you're going to be just fine. Then if choose a card from your hand and discard it. If you do, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets plus 4k. Oh wait, no, it's not, you know, like, as long as they don't get 30k, I mean 40k, you're good. Like, anything between 39 and you know, 31, you know, is just ignored. However, you do have to discard a card from it, but he's just a really great card in general. Excalibur, I do run 2 of each, simply because I don't need Excaliburs all the time. And it's kind of a waste, but this guy just works. Technically, I could do all Excaliburs, except I don't want to use the abilities all the time. You know, it's just one of those things where I don't want to have to think about it. Technically, running 4 Excaliburs would be good, because there's no real difference between this one and this one. Because here's the thing, no, there would be. Because if they hit 26k, this is good, but this won't be. Okay. I figured out why you should run both at the same time. We're good. Alright, this covers the deck. I'm going to change it back to a Metalborg deck. I'm probably not going to do a deck video about that one, simply because I don't feel it needs it. But I am going to change it over. It was a great experiment. I really like this deck, and I hope you try it out for yourself, because it will teach you a lot of things about Dimensional Police and what you have to work around that you didn't know before. Anyway, this has been Wheel of the Mercenary King. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you do have a comment or a question, try to put it on this video, because I don't get notifications for my videos, and that's the best way for me to see it. I will get warned about it. Have a great day, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Been Wheel of the Mercenary King out.